Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your reading under the energy of the lunar eclipse, which has just occurred. This is really putting the focus on our moon, our lunar experience, the way we reflect on our subconscious experiences. And in recognition of the fact that subconscious energies direct the vast majority of our decisions, thoughts, words, actions. This is affecting particularly for those of you that have a moon in Sagittarius, this may be particularly resonant, but it is putting the focus on your foundation, your home, your domestic environment. The overall energy for this reading is the Seven of Wings, which is the Seven of Swords. And this is coming through as your exhaustion in attempting to understand the nature of betrayal that you have experienced. For some of you, I feel that you have been recycling experiences of hurt, of deceit, of dishonesty, of hypercriticism, of judgment. And it has been a feature of your interactions in significant ways long enough that you have difficulty really understanding it. And when you replay those experiences of betrayal, you become angry, you become charged, triggered again. And you're exhausted by this experience. You are tired of replaying old experiences. In fact, new ones keep coming to you and are desperate to understand how to release this sense of being constantly judged by others, unfairly judged. In the past, underneath is the Hanged One. I like this. The Hanged One is showing your desire to deeply reflect on this particular perception, experience, or insight that you're now gaining. It isn't that you have been completely naive or unaware that people have treated you unfairly, but you've coped with it in a very different way. And for many Sagittarians, that coping means simply turning a blind eye to the disrespect or unkind actions that you have been the recipient of, or it means quite more frequently just leaving, just running away, just escaping, just getting out of a situation that doesn't feel receptive and not really wanting to hang in there and work it out. So you are not only reflecting on the experience, but on the way that you dealt with it in the past. And yet, your way of dealing with it now is to really give yourself the space to understand it. You're not going anywhere. This is within you. You're aware of that. The perception of deceit, as well as the way you've coped with it, is your issue. And so there is no running away from this unless you want to continue to repeat this cycle, which I'm pretty sure you don't want to do. I'm pulling up a Seed and Sickle Oracle, and we have the Oak here. Number 13, the Death card, and the Major Arcana may be particularly relevant to you. This reduces to a 4. So I do think it's important that you are attempting, you've shifted your desirability to control your external experience and are looking at ways that you instead can master your own energies, your own responses. Great oaks from little acorns grow. One of the mightiest trees we have, sacred to gods of thunder, Zeus and Thor, starts life as a tiny seed filled with enormous promise. Acorns are a powerful but dormant source of potential, and to look at one, it's hard to imagine what it could grow into. From this, we can learn an important lesson. to remain humble even in the knowledge of our capacity for greatness. Others will notice this and appreciate your modesty. Love this. I think this is very relevant for the healing journey that I believe you're on and the particular energy of the lunar eclipse, where we are understanding our humility, stepping into that humility as a way of identifying, aligning ourselves with our humanness. We aren't perfect. We make mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes over and over again, but it's okay. You have become aware now, and even if you've been always aware, you're aware now that this is within you, within your control to shift this experience. Because number 13 is related to the death card, this represents a rebirth, but not just a rebirth, but the necessary preparation for that in letting go, in surrendering, in being in something of a liminal space, being in a transition of sorts. And that transition is stripping away what is familiar and comfortable, or allowing us to see the disconjunctions, the mismatches, the misalignments in our lives within us, the way we are unfairly balancing out experiences in the world within ourselves. I'm going to pull the 10th card, which is your social identity, the way others see you. The Ace of Discs is the Ace of Pentacles, and this is that beautiful door of abundance is available to you. I feel like you are trying to reprogram yourself from experiencing this new opportunity in the way that you've experienced opportunities in the past. It's not to say that you've never been successful, but I feel like for many of you, sustaining success has been challenging in light of the awareness that one always encounters resistance on one's path, particularly when you're moving in a direction that appears successful or abundant to others. And now you are gently moving into this experience of opportunity, of abundance, with a mind to not repeating and limiting your resources, the information, the access you can gain, the assistance that is available to you from showing itself, from helping to shape your experience in a way through surrendering to the fact that you're not going to do this alone. You need others, no matter how they've treated you in the past. You are understanding better how to navigate those necessary relationships that are going to support this abundance, this opportunity, this prosperity, this practical security and stability that is critical to you right now. In the first house, your perspective, the Six of Vessels, is very much about a soul bond. It's interesting because the soul bond represents an experience you had similar to what I have been describing. This is a connection that was special, deeply connected, unusual, and yet deeply familiar to you. But through that experience, you had the sense of judgment, betrayal, people talking behind your back, people not taking you seriously, people thinking, who do they think they are? So something that came easily to you was challenged immediately by people in your circle, your community. It doesn't feel like you received much support for this, that you had to do this on your own. You had to move forward in exploring a relationship that feels as though it was snuffed out by the collective wisdom, the resistance by others of keeping you apart. And it also feels that the soul bond connection was not in the recognition that you were, or was afraid of that connection at some very deep fundamental level. In the fourth house, two cards came out, the Five of Wings and the Two of Wings. So this is the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords. This is, for me, this war that is going on within you. And I'm calling it a war because it's been so intransigent in your perception of your experience in the world. For many of you that I'm speaking to, there is a sense of tremendous independence, whether you've been connected in soul partners or not. But there's a sense that you are unique, you're on your own, even within your family, that you have been, a lot of doubts have been instilled in you. There was a lot of ways in which you were not seen but expected to show up for others. And this has built a really intransigent foundation of little faith, of always looking over your shoulder, of expecting to be judged in any situation, of looking for approval from those that misjudged you or judged you harshly. And yet the frustration that, and your own awareness that that would never change as long as you are participating in that. So I do feel that for some of you, there is a deep cleansing that's going on as you identify some of this fundamental betrayal or harsh treatment, injustice coming from within your family of origin. Perhaps there are relatives or a relative in particular that you always saw as your angel, your boon coon buddy, somebody who got you, who supported you, who celebrated you. You're seeing that in a dramatically different way now. And this is hard for you. This is really difficult for you because if you're seeing it now, and this isn't the first time you're seeing it, but this is the first time you're really asking to see it, asking for the clarity around this. You know that you must sever, surrender, remove this relationship and its centrality in your life to your family identity immediately. And my guess is if this is a person or a set of people, this can be friends as well, but it's people you've known for a long time, people that have influenced your development. Uh, they know it too. They're aware of your feeling. They've been feeling this pulling back. They've been feeling this mistrust for a very long time, and that really saddens you. This is really a source of incredible pain for you, I feel. And yet you have been moving closer and closer to a path that feels right for you, and you mourn the lack of support, the lack of understanding that people that you once believed were for you, uh, you are aware of their active blocking you in many ways. Something coming through here means that you are, it's showing me that you have a unique place in your family system, that you are the truth teller or the savior, or there's some role that you play that is distinct from the way other members in your family have fit together. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it was chummy or happy or uh, 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 that there wasn't a lot of difference or disagreement. There is a lot of strife. There's a lot of energy coming from your family origin, a lot of arguments, a lot of conflict, and it feels like you dealt with that by being on your own. In the seventh house, the house of significant others, the high priestess. Yeah, I do feel that you're understanding a particular soul bond in with greater compassion. And it isn't that you haven't had compassion in the past, because I do feel like this is someone you have loved, someone that you've known through lifetimes, someone who you recognize as being a lesson, because for many of you, that relationship has never really developed. It was a promise. It was a glimpse of something that you knew would need to be built. And I think there's a social assumption that relationships are kind of a love at first sight thing. And although I have no doubt that this relationship was that, contained that energy for some of you, but it also was this very mature recognition that whatever could be built would have to be done together and would have to be done on a par, in recognition, in respect of your independent roles. And I think that was, I think that's too advanced for the other person in question here. I do feel like the lesson of that relationship is intimately bound up with this recognition of some kind of hurt or mistrust that you hold. And I don't think you're trying to challenge yourself as to why you feel that way. I think that you are simply accepting that this is the way you feel, and understanding that you're allowed to make mistakes, and that you are healing this energy, but that holding on to this anger, this pain, this suffering, this heartache is still showing you things you need to learn. And that may be one of the hardest things about this. Ultimately, this resolves itself through an opportunity that you are pursuing at this time. If this reading resonates for you, Sag, please like this video, share this with others. Subscribe to my channel. Absolutely. Pacific Tarot is growing as a result of your support, and I appreciate that. And yeah, I don't take your time with me now for granted. So thank you in advance for that. I'm going to clarify the Six of Vessels, the Six of Cups in the first house, the Ten of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Yeah. Letting go, dropping something that has exhausted you, that you've tried and tried and tried to figure out. You've pursued the soul bond in many different experiences, relationships. You've never given up on the fact that there is someone well matched for you. And you've been open about attempting that in many ways. But ultimately, I do feel like you have been left alone. And part of that is your own desire to escape something that you see isn't working, something that you alone have had to take responsibility for, and you're rejecting that. But this is such a deep trauma that you're experiencing. You're really trying to protect this sense of your own self emerging with with a path, with a gift, and with a mission, as protection against this sense of having wasted time, having given away energy, having expended love on those who didn't give back, of having invested your passion in things that ultimately failed and collapsed. In the fourth house, the Two of Wings and the Five of Wings is clarified by the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I like this Wands energy for you, Sagittarius. I feel as though you are applying your incredible heart skills, your enthusiasm, your love of life, your passion for growth, and the embrace of the abundance of the world is really standing you to good stead. And in fact, it's that energy, that creative energy, that is helping you to forefront your desire, your goal, your wish, your aim. Uh, you're exploring the world on behalf of the projection and expression of this gift you have, despite the lack of belief, the faith, the unfamiliarity, the discomfort others have with what it is you do and what it is you do well. One of the reasons you may not have received the support that you wanted or believed you could have or should have is because others don't understand what you do. Others don't understand the source of your gifts or your information, your knowledge. They don't understand why you would pursue something that doesn't net you security and stability in a more conventional way. But you're more than capable. You are powerfully expressive and creative, and that confidence simply blasts through any heartache, any heartbreak, any pain and suffering that you continue to feel, continue to allow yourself to hold space for. As I said before, you're still learning things from this. You haven't uh, relinquish this or try to banish this from your experience because you're still working through it. You're still trying, you're waiting for that breakthrough. The High Priestess in the seventh house of significant relationships is clarified by the Four of Wands, and everything wants to come out, and the Hierophant. Interesting. So now I feel as though you are in some preparation as you build towards your own vision, your own abundance. You are entering in a commitment to yourself. You're building something that is a possibility, a potential, a dream. You're establishing that, you're grounding that, you're creating a foundation. It's more of a cultural, spiritual, even emotional foundation for your vision, for your reclamation of wisdom that you've already earned through this lifetime and perhaps through other lifetimes as well. The Hierophant is indicating that you are so committed to your own learning / healing process that you can teach this to others. You can show this to others. You're mostly showing this to others through your own action, your own activity, but others do come to you for advice. They do check in with you because they recognize that you have been on this incredibly challenging journey towards some kind of fulfillment, some kind of achievement or satisfaction that has eluded you for a while, and that you've had a plethora of experiences that allow you to relate to an entire range of people. In the 10th house, the Ace of Discs is clarified by the Ten of Swords, the King of Swords, rather, and is that one card? The Eight of Swords. I do feel like you are still gathering information. You are still seeking the kind of assistance and support you need. You're still doing your due diligence at some level of something that you're building, starting, or growing. And this feels as though the prospect of anchoring something in the real world, something that is productive, that is a resource, that is tangible, that is practical, is something that uh, you've had a lot of experience for in supporting others. But this is really more of a challenge for you to internalize this ability to hold a vision and to delegate the tasks that need to be done to others. This is a really challenging aspect of developing the necessary relationships that are going to encourage your abundance, encourage your wealth, encourage your stability and security. and that you have the expertise on. You are the expert of your vision. This may be hard to handle because there are a lot of potential expressions of what it is you're building. There are many income streams, as an example. There are many educational opportunities. There are so many potentials that you are seeking to create an umbrella that can facilitate all of them. I'm going to finish this reading, Sagittarius, with a yogic path oracle, and I pulled Lakshmi came up. So I'm going to take Lakshmi and read from the guidebook of Sahara Rose. And I've found Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance, fortune, and beauty. Many call upon Lakshmi, but she only comes to few who have earned it. Today, that is you. She is the goddess of abundance, physical beauty, Ohas, which means vital life force, good fortune, and fertility. She is the sweetness of the fruit, the petals of the flower, the glistening of the ocean. She is the extra spark that makes certain things beautiful. She comes to you with blessings of prosperity for the fruit of your labor. She has recognized your generosity and rewards you in her ways. She has recognized your generosity. Whoops. I like that sentence so much I want to repeat it. Whether it's financial abundance, radiant health, loving partnerships, a comfortable home, good fortune, or impregnation you are seeking, continue to give freely and lovingly, and so will she. Wow. Well earned, Sagittarius. If you've enjoyed this reading, check out more content here. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Until next time, namaste.